Once upon a time, there was a hero, you, living in a kingdom where food wasn't just food. Food was permission to feel, a quick fix, a warm blanket over a storm. Food became stress relief, boredom filler, sadness numbing, anger absorbing. Like a loyal but badly trained dragon that torched the furniture every time you asked it for help. And because food was regulating emotions, emotions stopped knowing how to regulate you. You didn't fail, you adapted. Eating was never stupidity. It was intelligence directed at survival. The body said, holy shit, emotions hurt. Give me something immediate. The brain said, carbs are serotonin, dopamine's now. We don't care about later. This isn't brokenness. This is a system doing exactly what it learned to do. And you, little alchemist, are about to teach it something new. One night after dinner, when cravings hit like a tidal wave, and the pantry whispered your name like a bad ex, you heard a deeper whisper. What if hunger isn't for food? A question that cracked reality open. Because beneath cravings, it's not appetite. Beneath craving is unfelt emotion. Of course you resisted. Change is fucking inconvenient. Thoughts like, if I can't have comfort food, I'm missing out. It's punishment. Why do I choose what hurts me? But here's the reframe. The craving isn't asking for food. It's asking for relief, safety, connection, sensation. You learn to soothe emotions with eating because no one taught you how to soothe emotions with presence. You didn't have emotional regulation tools, so you built your own through snacks. That's resourcefulness. That's adaptability. But the dragon is too big now. Time to evolve. So one day you meet the mentor. Look, kid, you're not fucking weak, you're powerful. You're just misaiming the power. You're emotionally regulating with food. Congratulations, that means you already know how to emotionally regulate. You've just used the wrong tool. Think of it like this. Trying to hammer nails with bread. Using a spoon to dig to China. Using junk food to fill a meaning gap, not a stomach gap. The skill is there. Just needs a new direction. Here's the first activation command. When I feel a craving, I check what my heart is actually hungry for. Craving's a message, not a demand. You listen, then choose. Choice is freedom. Every time you pause before eating, you rewire your brain. Literally, scientifically, neuroplasticity. A craving lasts 90 seconds if you don't feed it a story. 90 seconds. You can handle 90 seconds. Your brain says, eat the sugar or I'll suffocate you with discomfort. But here's the science. Junk food, it's a dopamine spike. Then cortisol, regret. Then shame, emotional pain. Which triggers more eating? That's not hunger, that's a loop, a habit. Habits can be edited. When you change the ritual, the craving rewires. Like turning a river by digging a new path. Future you whispers, I choose who I become every time I choose how to eat. Eating junk food is not a reward. It's a self-betrayal disguised as comfort. Nourishing yourself is not punishment. It's self-respect. You start to see food was a substitute for rest, emotional honesty, connection, excitement, sensation. And food was never the problem. Silence about needs was. This is where the prophecy appears. When the hero stops eating emotions, the body becomes a temple, and the mind becomes a throne. The cravings show up after dinner. That's not weakness. That's the emotional orphan coming home saying, "Will you finally hold me instead of devouring me?" You treat that emotion like a child, not a monster. Because emotions aren't to be eaten, they're to be felt. If the craving hits, you say, "I'm safe. This feeling can exist. I don't have to kill it with food." And if the voice says, "Fuck it, go eat it," you smile like a warrior and whisper, "Not every thought gets to become an action. You just won the battle." You discover a strange truth. Control isn't about willpower. Control is about connection. You realize emotion becomes breath, boredom becomes movement, stress becomes grounding, fatigue becomes rest, anger becomes expression, loneliness becomes connection. Food stops being a crutch, it becomes fuel. You feel your gifts activate, intuition, body wisdom, emotional clarity. You weren't addicted to food. You were addicted to relief. Now you generate relief internally. That's alchemy. You walk back into the same kitchen with a different identity. Not the slave of cravings. The fucking king of your choices. And every time you choose nourishment over punishment, you upgrade your frequency. Every time you feel instead of eat, your intuition gets sharper. Every craving becomes a portal, a doorway to embodiment. I feed myself with presence first, food second. I can feel uncomfortable and still choose what empowers me. Food is fuel. Emotions, they're meant to be felt. Repeat these silently when cravings hit. Let them become your spine. Imagine yourself in 3 months, walking past the pantry like, "I don't need that crap. I'm full of myself now." Your body responding, more energy, confidence, self-respect. Your emotions saying, "Thank you for feeling me instead of eating me." And if nothing changes, still overeating, still feeling like shit, still making the pantry your therapist, and your soul, annoyed as hell, says, "We didn't come to Earth for this shit. You've crossed the threshold. You're the one who turns cravings into clarity, hunger into healing, pain into power. You were never broken. You were undertrained, but now you're upgrading. The dragon becomes your ally. The body becomes your temple. You become the hero who finally realizes you were never hungry for food. You were hungry for yourself.